have that instinct automatically? Because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Attack the boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. We did it. Can you believe that? You're moving like a robot. Can you believe we made it?
Finally.
Right? I mean, you doing this right here. How's the internet connection going for you? How's the internet connection going for you?
It's okay. There's a little bit of a delay.
Oh, really?
And it's okay. There's a little bit of a delay.
Okay. I got to use my boom boom right here. You see that? And I use it to.
What the heck is that, Gerald?
Oof. I got to listen. I haven't done this in a while. Like it's been a couple of weeks since I went live. And I've been busy, you know, just you've been doing other interviews without me. So I'm like, you know, I got to make something happen here. One of my best guests, you know.
I was getting ready for you, you know.
Yeah. But
I was getting ready for this one. You know what I mean?
But we here. I want people to start coming in, and I want to get some more people to come in. They're coming in by the rows right now. But other than how you doing though?
I'm doing great. A little tired and recovering from a little neck injury from a car accident yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm glad you're still here with us, you know.
Yes, my car flipped on its side. I got away out of the road, and it was a scary moment, but thank God my God is great, and he was there protecting us. I did bust my eardrum on the right side, but that's taken care of. That's, you know, a little. And I did get some bruises here from.
Wow.
Oh yeah, not a big deal.
That looks like a hickey. You know that, right?
What is a hickey?
When somebody kisses on your neck and they kiss too hard, they look like a hickey.
Oh, okay. No, no, that was from the seatbelt, I guess. You know.
Hey, that's what I told my wife. I said, "Oh yeah, that was from my dog right there." Yeah.
No, I got a. You saw the pictures of the car.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Thank God, that was nothing compared to what it could have happened. It was a total loss, you know.
Yeah.
Airbags went off and everything. That's actually what hurt my ear, was the airbag.
What about the insurance? They're going to take care of you? Your auto insurance?
Yes. Thank God I have collision and comprehensive insurance.
So what you're going to get? What are you going to get next? You're going to get you a G-Wagon or what's the roll? We're going to get a Phantom. What are you going to get now? Since you're about to get cashed out.
Listen, I'm so humble. I honestly would prefer to have just like a brand new basic model, economic in fuel, and just basic. I mean, not basic. I love the accessories. I actually had a Toyota Highlander, and it was an LE. And before that, I had a Volvo, an SUV Volvo, which was like a limited, but it was much older. But I loved my Volvo because it had all the optionals, and the Toyota didn't. But I really don't. I'm not very I wish I could have fancy cars and stuff like that. But I put my dogs in my cars all the time, so. I cannot have, fancy cars right now. At least I just need one car. So I'm just using my daughter's car for now.
Yeah. I had to get out of it. I had a Prius for a long time. It's my dog car, the Prius V. And I recently, after 14 years of having that Prius, I gave the Prius to my niece who just got driver's license. and I got a pre-owned minivan, Toyota Sienna hybrid.
Oh, I
So
love those.
yep,
And they are
and
super comfortable too.
oh my, I feel like I'm riding in a cockpit of a plane. You know, it's like it's pretty nice. I just came from Vegas. Me and the wife just came from. We drove there. I usually
Oh,
fly to
nice.
Vegas because it's only a 50-minute flight. You know, but we
Yeah.
maybe 45-minute flight. But I drove there because it was relaxing. And she drove there. I sat in the back and I laid down. That was the first time I ever laid down in any vehicle of mine while somebody else was driving. So I had a good time. But
Oh,
I want to say thanks for coming on today. I have the pleasure of having Aurea on the on this today's interview, this virtual sit down from Samba
mhm.
Kennels, based out of Dallas, Texas area, by way of
Correct.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Sao Paulo. No,
São
São
Pablo,
Paulo.
São Pablo,
Sao Paulo.
São
Yes.
Pablo. And
São Paulo.
right. And I first saw you last year, but then I saw you again when Raul from QBN actually came to Dallas and interviewed you. And
Correct.
so it was much better in person. And I think I didn't watch the whole thing because I was at work. But I think didn't he have see some of your dogs? I know you guys met at no, you had one of your dogs with you. You met at a
Yes,
coffee shop.
actually he was talking about the Brazilian dogs on his live, and he was kind of like, no, I don't know these dogs. I'm not sure about their temperament. And so I joined because somebody sent his live to me, and I joined it. I don't watch these lives all the time, but sometimes when people see that they're talking about the Brazilian dogs, they, my friends or my audience, they send it to me. They send the link to me, so calls my attention to watch it. And
Yeah.
I was free at that time, and I started watching. And I
Uh-huh.
got a little upset because he said, "Oh, these dogs, I don't know. I'm, kind of iffy about the temperament." And I said, "I'm going to challenge this guy." So I texted him and I said, "Hey, Raul, how many Brazilian bulls do you know? How many of them have you met for you to say about the temperament?" And he says,
Maybe
"Well,
not a lot.
actually, maybe no, none." And I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I would love you to meet one or two or my kennel in person. I want you to come here if you have the time. I would love to host you here so you can meet them, and then you can take your own conclusions."
Right.
And then he said, "Aurea, I appreciate your invitation. Maybe I won't be able to go all the way there because we live kind of far, but maybe we can meet halfway, and you can bring one of your dogs, and I'll bring one of mine." And man, he was in love with Tractor because I took Champion Tractor for him to meet. And there's actually, the episode is in his channel, and he was amazing. The dog is super well behaved
Right.
and just amazing. Like, his dog was actually more driven than mine was. My dog was super chill and just
Yeah.
a big teddy bear, and he was really impressed. He was
Now,
impressed not only about the temperament, but also about the looks of the dog.
now did he bring a male with him or he brought a female with him?
A male too.
And they get along? Two strange dogs? Did they
Well, his dog was like, because my dog is super, super easygoing with any males. My dogs get
yeah.
along with other males here in the yard because I get them acquainted and I get them used to playing with each other, always under my
Right.
supervision.
Right.
But I never had an accident with them.
Okay.
And I took Tractor. Tractor is probably my sweetest male around other males. He's the least dominant one. But if I had taken Klaus, or if I had taken Shake, or even Chuck, they would be fine. They would would have been fine because I know them. But I think Fireball is the name of his dog. And then
Yeah.
uh,
And that
when
was that was it.
Tractor approached him to
Uh-huh.
introduce himself, they go for the backs, and and Fireball kind of like went, "Argh," but it's just like a reaction that happy, not aggressive or anything. He was just like, hey, I'm a male too, imposing himself, but tails wagging, everything happening. We're just interacting really nicely.
Well,
His dog is an 8-year-old dog.
oh yeah. Let's get into it. So tell me about Aurea. Tell me where she's from originally. Um, but more importantly, what was the first breed you was actually involved in? So tell us that.
Mhm. Okay. Well, um, my name is Aurea Giacomelli. I was born and raised in Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of the biggest cities in the world, probably the fifth or sixth biggest city in population, 20 plus million people right now.
Ooh,
And yes, and always loved dogs. I had my first experience with dogs was my brother's dogs. We lived with my parents, and he
mm-hmm.
wanted to have dogs, and he had a couple of Rottweilers,
Mm,
and they were pretty spicy Rottweilers, but we loved them. And then I went to live in Canada. I was an exchange student in Canada in 1993. That's where I started learning English. I was always in love with the English language, with
right.
the American culture. I was a New Kids on the Block fan when I was a teenager, and that's why I
That group?
decided. Come on.
Yeah,
I was 14, you know what I mean?
right.
13. And that's how I started learning English. I wanted to understand the songs, and I wanted to started singing like them. And then my musical taste gotten better, a lot better. but I do owe that to them because I wanted to translate the song so bad. So I applied for a international Rotary exchange program in internationally. Canada was the country that picked me because you usually apply for 3 countries. I chose United States, Canada, and England. I was chosen to live in Canada, in Vancouver Island. What a beautiful place. So
Yes.
in 1993, 1994, I lived there as an exchange student. My English got really better. And then I went back to Brazil. And only in 2004, and are you there?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, my internet. Okay, so in 2004, I lived in a bad part of town. I mean, Sao Paulo, everything is bad.
Right.
Wherever you live. So, and I had my dog, and I didn't know which dog to choose. I studied for a couple of years. I used to buy these magazines. I was in love with dogs. I've always been, and I saw this stunning, amazing, white, beautiful dog with a protection, noble look. It looks like a guardian. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, oh my God, it gives me the chills just to talk about it. And that was called a Dogo Argentino. That was in 2004. So I started studying this breed, and I learned that it was a very rare breed at the time. There was not very many breeders in Brazil. And I started searching for one. And I got one at classified ad on the newspaper kind of thing. He wasn't even a pedigree one or anything.
Wow.
But I fell in love with her.
So
I
so let
fell
me
in
ask you
love
this.
with her. I started taking her to. Mhm.
So let me ask you this. When you fell in love with her, um, Did the dog come with any papers, or it was just a pet only type of quality?
No, it was actually a what do you call the famous classifieds here?
Craigslist?
Something list? Craigslist. Yeah, it
Craigslist.
was like a
Yeah.
Craigslist kind of thing, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the funny thing is that it was a litter. He had a litter. They were 40 days old. And he said, I have males and I have females. You can come here and pick whichever you want. I didn't really want a male. I wanted a female just because it
Right.
was cleaner and more protective and more, you know. I said, I want a female. So I went there and they were tiny, you know, they're beautiful litter. And he said, I don't have the papers. So they are $450. That's like, or 450 reais. At that time, it was equivalent to $80. The puppy, which is, it's pretty reasonable for a pet home. Probably today would be equivalent to $250, you know. And oh my God, it was like I'm just getting a pet for my family. I had no idea that I would become what I became because of that dog,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But I fell in love with her temperament. I fell in love with her looks. And mind you, she didn't have any papers, but the owner, the breeder that sold her to me, showed me the papers, and I memorized a few of the individuals that were in those papers. And I remember to this date, you know, the name of the dogs that were in my female's paper, but she didn't have any papers. And I started getting in touch with other breeders. I say, hey, look at my dog. And everybody was like, nobody wanted to be rude to me, you know, these OGs of the breed. They didn't want to be rude to me, and they invited me to their gatherings. Oh, bring your dog. And where did you get this dog from? And then they go, okay, but they didn't want to tell me. But she was very ugly. She was very atypical.
Yeah. It reminds me. It reminds me of my first Doberman. In 2010 was a male Doberman, and I kind of got like I got bulldozed because I know what I wanted. I went on his website. By that time, he was like the only real Doberman breeder in LA, and I said I want one of those. Didn't understand the picking process of picking a puppy, and
same here.
So I went to go pick out the dog. It was 3 weeks 3 weeks old. I paid the guy a $500 deposit. He wanted $2,500, so I paid the $500 deposit. And then I come back. Remember now, I said I picked him out in 3 weeks.
Wait, which year was that?
2010.
Which year was that?
2010.
That's an expensive puppy. 25.
Yeah, but it was a pedigreed European Doberman because Kimbertal was charging about that much, if not more. And so,
right.
But I wanted a European Doberman, and he specialized in the King Warlock Doberman. So I paid him $500. His name is Percy Bickerstaff. His brother Bernie was a coach in the NBA, and Bickerstaff Dobermans. And I gave him the $500. Picked the dog out in 3 weeks. Now I'm not knowing that 3 weeks ain't enough time to pick out a dog because they all look the same. You know, they're all small little baby Rottweiler look, right? So I gave him the $500 at 3 weeks, and then I come back at 7.5 or 8 weeks and get the dog. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna go back there in the backyard and get the one that I wanted, not knowing that these dogs didn't have different color collars on, right? And so I'm trusting him to bring me the right dog. I don't know what he brought me. He just brought me a dog. I never saw the mama, and I never saw the daddy. I went off of photos on his website.
Right.
That dog ended up being a very tall Doberman, but he was a shit dog. He had no character. Um, he had no prey drive, and I didn't even know what that was at the time. And I ended up getting rid of him a year later. Now that what I know, I would never pick out a dog in 3 weeks. Number one, I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna pick out a puppy, and I can't see the mama and the daddy. And what I look for as far as genotype and
100%.
phenotype is completely different now, right? Completely different. I mean, I've kind of got it down to a science, and it's still at that. And still, when you pick them out, it's still a crapshoot as far as you hope they develop to what you want them to be, right? And it's no guarantee. But getting back to you with this
Completely.
Dogo
Yeah.
Argentino, because that's one of my favorite dogs, and I hear one of your dogs in there growling or snoring. Which dog is that growling or snoring back
Yes,
there?
can you hear him?
Yeah.
That's Shake.
Shake, rattle, and roll. So we're gonna get to Shake in a
Yep.
minute. But how far did you
That's
get with this
Shake.
Dogo breed?
Come here, Bobby. Well, so we started in 2004, 2005. That's when I purchased Evita. Evita was my baby, and she was practically born in my house. I picked her up at 40 days old, and she
Wow.
died at almost 12 years old. So she stayed with me for the whole entire life. She was our best friend. Amazing guardian temperament, even though it is not the main function of a Dogo Argentino to be a guardian. They're not good guardians. They guard secondarily very nicely because of their dominant aspect and because of their morphology, because you see that dog, and my internet went out. Of course, if you see a white huge Dogo Argentino in your in somebody else's yard, you're the yard, because they are very dominant and they're very territorial. But it's not their main function.
Right.
They're not supposed to be guardian dogs because they don't do the guard as well as a Doberman or a Rottweiler would do. You know what I mean? Or their main function, they are prey dogs. They hunt big game dog prey. So mainly wild hogs and mountain lions. Okay, and they do it very well. Very, very well. They're very strong. They're very fast. They have good nose. They're white because most of the hunts happen at night, so they can differentiate, and also for the contrast of the dark fur of the hogs. That's why they made them white. And they are amazing. They have a brave heart. That's their main quality. They have the heart of, they have a heart for hunting. They will not let go unless they will die grabbing the hog for the owner,
Yeah.
So they have an amazing heart. And they're also amazing with the family. They're great dogs with the family. They have one trait that's very interesting. They accept more than one leader in the family. They accept at least 3 to 5 leaders in, even like 6 people in the family. They will have them as leaders, independently of hierarchy. Of course, sometimes they get more. They relate to one family member more than other, or they respect one more than other, but they accept up to 6 pet leaders differently than most guardian dogs that they will take only 1 or 2. That's what makes them very unique, amazing loyal animals, but not for everybody. It's a very, very high maintenance temperament dog.
But let me ask you this: how far did you get? Did you start showing dogos, or you basically kept it at pet level?
No, basically with Evita, I took her to a show, even though she was not very good looking, she was very correct and she was typical. She was not a typical dogo. She was just not my type of dogo. Because the funny thing was when I saw the Dogo Argentino for the first time on a magazine, and this is very curious, I don't think I've told this very often, but the picture that I saw of a dogo for the first time on a magazine, and we're talking 2003, 2004, it was a dogo from a specific bloodline in Brazil that was very successful. And that dog is what I related to, beautiful, blocky muzzle, very
Right.
squared shaped muzzle, a very defined stop, a big head, a taller dog. And Evita had a very pointy nose, like a snipey muzzle.
Right.
And I hate that type of muzzle in dogos. And if you see my bloodline, they all have very blocky muzzle and very typical. They're very consistent in looks, in type. And the funny thing is that dog that I saw in the picture, that I said, this is my ideal, this is what I love, and that's for all these years that I bred Dogos Argentinos, that's the type that I had in my mind. This is what I love. That's my ideal dogo. 10 years after that, that breeder that had that dog in that magazine, I became their partner owner of that kennel.
Yeah. Talk about living your dream. It's like, wow. So
yeah, and I'm the owner of that name here in America, in the United States. We're partners in Brazil and here. So basically, I still am. I still breed
do they have
dogos.
do you have a website for that dogo, for the breed?
I do. I don't know if it's running anymore, because that's under my partner's. Because we only have one website. Let me see, and I don't know if it's on or not.
Yeah. Don't worry about
I
it.
have to. Yeah, but we do have our. If you go to my personal Aurea Giacomelli Instagram, there's a link to my Dogo Argentino Instagram too, which is Luz Vol Verdes Pampas. But the name that everybody knows is Verdes Pampas, which means green grass, something like that.
Yeah. Let's get
And
to the exciting part. Let's talk
oh no,
about
just to conclude, you asked me how far I gotten.
yes.
Well, throughout the years, I became friends with breeders, Dogo Argentino breeders. I started going to shows. I started breeding for competition, and I started participating in hunting events. Not myself. I don't like hunting very much, but I had friends, but my focus was showing my dogs, and we have nowadays 35 grand champions, almost 100 champions all over the world.
Wow.
Dogs exported to 72 countries, and 2 Westminster champions here in the United States just in 1 year the year after I moved here. About 3 years later, in 3 years, 2 of the dogs that were born already in the US in my house became Westminster champions. And that's when I said, okay, now I need a challenge. Now it's nice to have perfect dogs. Like for me, the dog it gotten to a point that it wasn't challenging anymore. Every time I went to a dog show, I was always winning, so I just decided that I wanted to get another breed that has a lot of flaws, that I can make it better and see it better. I can do better for them, And I was actually talking to a breeder today, and I was explaining that to him, that 7 years ago, when I first saw the XL Bullies, I was transporting, because I'm also one of my businesses is I ship dogs internationally. And
Right.
I went to visit a big breeder here in America, and it was one of my first clients ever. And I saw this beautiful female. She was a champagne female, beautiful, but he had super high rear, and he had the pasterns really, really weak. And, easty westy and cow hawked. And I just looked at her and I felt, my God, that dog is not going to live very long. Or if it does live, it's going to have arthritis and problems, in the ligaments or bones. Or
Yeah.
imagine not only the healthy part of it, but imagine if I could see that same bitch, that same female with perfect conformation. And I said, oh my God, I think that's the dream. That's what I need. I need that dog. I need that breed. And I told my friend, and I said, I'm going to start breeding XL Bullies. And he says, hey, just stay in your lane. You're doing so well in Dogos. Why are you going to, stay in your lane? And that's Mojib from Animal Logistics, one of my good friends, Mo.
Nice.
And Mo laughs at me, and not to. Can you see me? Did I disappear there for you for a second?
No, you're good. You're good. So let me ask you a question.
Okay, you're back.
Because everybody's been hitting me up about the XL Bully stuff, because you're considered the queen of the XL Bully breed. I don't know if you know that or not. All right. What made you get it?
No, yeah. I'm not. No. That's not me.
Modest.
That's Cat.
Yeah.
From Bossy Kennels. No, I'll give that to her.
Okay.
I'm from the Brazilian Bullies, maybe. The dog's from Brazil.
Yeah. You are the queen of the Brazilian Bullies. So my question is, what got you? What was your first XL Bully experience, and when was it?
Okay, so as I was saying, because of my transportation, I went to visit a client to pick up some puppies, and I saw this beautiful female with a very bad structure. And I just thought to myself, imagine that with my experience, I can produce a dog that is so beautiful like that, but with correct conformation, with a better structure that's going to make the dog live longer and live healthier. That was my first experience, and this is why I was telling you. And now Mojib, my good friend, that said, don't breed XL Bullies, stay in your lane. And he talked to me just not too long ago, and he said, look where you are at, And I said, I told you I was gonna get here,
It's interesting you say that, because if we will listen to everybody that told us, don't do this, don't do that, stay in your lane, stay in your pool, stay in your front yard, stay in your house, do you know that we wouldn't be where we are today? Think about that. If we did everything somebody told us not to do. Correction, let me say that again. If we was to listen to everybody who told us not to do something, knowing that we was following our sixth sense, was following our heart, do you know how delayed and how behind we would be had we not challenged ourselves and put ourselves in very uncomfortable positions? I can count this shit, like, for the past 10 years, I've talked to a few people that told me, don't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. And I made those decisions, and I've benefited from it, not only monetarily, but symbolically I've benefited from it, right? So hats off to that. So your first XL Bully was from, what was it, a girl or boy? And why did you choose the girl or boy?
Okay, this is very funny.
I hope you make me laugh.
Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting. Let's put it this way. My first XL Bully is actually Shake's grandfather's brother.
Grandfather's brother?
Yes.
Okay, grandfather's litter mate.
Oh, my English today is crazy.
Talking Portuguese. Grandfather's litter mate.
No. No, how can I talk in Portuguese? Nobody's going to understand.
I know. There's gonna be
So
somebody out there like
why
him.
did
Yeah.
I choose? Okay, Lucas Pitt in Brazil is the breeder of Shake. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he's the breeder of Shake.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. That's Shake. Exactly.
Shake, rattle, and
And when
roll.
Lucas Pitt wanted, come here, Bubba. He's sleeping in my couch there. He won't get up for nothing. He's so lazy.
Oh, God, look at that. Look
So
at that.
this boy, the breeder, wanted to bring to Brazil the dog. He wanted to bring an American XL Bully. And he didn't know anybody here, but he was my friend. And I wasn't an XL Bully breeder, but I was a transporter for XL Bully breeders. So he said, Aurea, can you help me find a good specimen of the breed? But, I don't have that much money because it is expensive. The currency there is not very much compared to the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just transported for a group of breeders here and to the UK. And I contacted them and I said, hey, I have a client in Brazil. He's my friend. He wants to import a male. Do you guys have a litter? Oh, that's two of my males. See? Two of my males right there. Shake and Klaus. Klaus is my first boy that I bought from Brazil. So the funny thing is, Lucas, I found a puppy for Lucas and I shipped it to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I helped him choose this dog. And I didn't really like the second pick. So he bought the first pick and there was a second pick and I didn't really like him. I thought he looked, that's so funny because he looked too much like a bulldog. And now look at me. So anyways, a couple of months after I sold this dog to Brazil for Lucas, I contacted the breeder in Ohio and I said, hey, I just saw in your website that you still have that puppy, the second pig puppy, the littermate brother, right? And he said, yes, he's here. He's stuck. He said, nobody wants him. And I said, oh my God, maybe he's meant to be mine because I was looking for a male and, I saw pictures of him 2 months later. He looked so much nicer. And I said, I kind of like him. Well, guess what? I bought that dog. That was my first dog. And the reason that I bought that dog is because I helped Lucas in Brazil with his project to one day produce what he did that would, after 5 years, come back to my place, So now, and I have both of them here. I have Chuck Norris here. Actually, he's staying with me. He lives with my son, but he's staying with me this week. And
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is his name. Yes, sir. My first bully. He's amazing. He's got an amazing temperament. He's a beautiful, beautiful lilac tri-boy. He's not extreme. He looks a lot more like an American Bully XL than a Brazilian Bully because he's not Brazilian. And he was my first bully ever.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
The Brazilian Bully. Now, it's controversy. And which one is this?
That's Chuck Norris.
All black.
That's my 4.5-year-old. That's this. No, the one on my phone here. Sorry, can you see my screen? I'm showing you the phone to the camera.
Yes. I see it.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So this is Chuck. Oh, the screen is dark. That's why. Oh, no. This is Chuck Norris.
Chuck. Let me see if I see Chuck on your Instagram.
Yeah, this is Shake. Go to the highlights. I think I have a highlight of him.
Let me see here. Which one is it right here?
Okay, move to the right. No, the highlights, you know, the little balls there, the little circles
Oh, right here.
underneath my profile.
Yeah, I see it right here. I see
I
tractor.
don't.
I see
Okay,
claws.
I don't. I don't.
Let me see
Oh
here. Hold
yeah,
on for a minute.
move to the right.
Here we go.
There's Chuck after claws. Yes.
It's supposed to be coming up.
Oh, there's gonna be a whole bunch of highlights because he's my first one. So there's like 5 years of highlights there.
That's Chuck right there. Hmm.
There's Chuck as a baby.
Oh, Chucky. So let me ask you a question. I see there's different type of phenotypes of XL bullies, but there's definitely a difference of I like this color. There's definitely a
That's a
genotype,
black tri. That's a mix of half Brazilian, half American.
right? I think my favorite one is
Hmm.
him. Chic. I do like him.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
But my question is, like, there's a phenotype and genotype that you look for. And what I've noticed about the Brazilian bulls, and I met one Brazilian bull, I met one in my entire life, and I was able to touch him.
Big John. Big John.
Big John, owned by TMK Bullies.
Alonso, my friend. Yes.
So my question is like, what makes them look like they almost look like grown? They almost look like humans in the head, and the eyes are shaped like humans. It's strange, and they have a forehead right here and a forehead right there, and right in the middle you can pet right there. You can run. I'm like, what? Like, talk to me about that, because I'm like, well, what's the difference? Okay, why do you call them Brazilian bulls? Number one,
Okay. They used to be called pit monsters.
pit monsters.
Yes, that's been their nickname forever now, you know, for 15 years. But because we wanted to have the breed recognized by other entities around the world, that's Chuck and Shake. Look at the difference of size.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
And we really wanted to have the breed recognized internationally. And the first thing we needed to do is change the name, because how are you going to promote a breed that's called pit monster with all the issues that we already have, the stigmas that we already have with the pit name? You know, if you live in an HOA, or if you want to take a international travel and take the dog in the plane, I mean, there's a whole bunch of
You're not taking a dog like this on a plane riding coach, are you? This is not happening.
that is happening. I do that all the time.
You are doing it. You are bringing that big ass dog on the plane. You're not getting 2 seats, are you? You're getting 1 seat.
It depends on the dogs. It depends on the dogs. I get 2 seats. No, I have to get 2 seats for them. Sometimes for Shake, I have to buy the whole row.
That's bananas.
And yeah, so where were we at?
Well,
yeah, so Chuck is my only
they fly
American,
they fly
100%
first
American
class.
dog.
They fly first class. They get their own food. They got catering service, don't they? I know they do. I'm just joking.
No.
So yeah, so tell me, because
Oh boy, no.
well, let me ask you this. I'm intrigued about the Brazilian bull, and I know they separate themselves from the XL bullies, right? My question is like, how, and they're becoming very, very popular too. Right? Big John is busy, and I noticed that you had flew or drove somewhere to do a breeding. Are you getting a lot of calls and inquiries to breed into your boy Schick and your other males? I mean, the Brazilian bully look is a very unique look within itself. Are you getting a lot of inquiries about that because I saw you went somewhere and you did. I think you actually helped did the insemination, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to California to breed my Brazilian girl to American boy. Okay, so let's organize the ideas so you understand. My thing was to bring the Brazilian dogs to the map. Okay, there was a lot of breeders before me that bought Brazilian dogs, XL American Bully dogs in Brazil. There were called pit monsters there, but they qualified as XL Bullies here because there was no other way to qualify them. That's what they look the most, and that's where the
Right.
genetics are the most similar to. So the ABKC was at that time accepting them as XL American Bullies or American Bully registered dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And for some time, I was able to bring them here and give them the credit where credit is due, meaning, you know, I bought Klaus from this breeder gets the credit, and his name is
Mm-hmm.
Klaus. I'm not going to change his name. I'm not going to put Sambacanos
Klaus.
Klaus, forget
Right. Klaus.
Canil Rocha, which is the guy that bred Klaus, that produced Klaus. I'm very loyal to my people and to the people that I work with. And I just thought that it was a I just wanted to do right for my people. So I brought the dogs here and I showed everybody, listen, I'm going to make these dogs famous here because they deserve, you know, the attention. They are amazing. Look at the conformation of these dogs. They are different. They are extreme, and people love that type of look. Oh, and one thing, everybody was crazy about the tries, and at that year, we're talking 2022, everybody wanted a tri collar or a merle dog. You know, they were the hype things to do at that time. And the crazy woman here went to Brazil, and I get a black fawn dog, which is the less popular color ever to bring. And a lot of people said to me, you're crazy. Don't do that. Don't bring a black fawn dog. Nobody's going to want to breed to that dog. And I said, listen, I'm going to teach people, and I'm going to guide people, not teach, but I'm going to guide people to understand that it's not the color that makes a dog. It's the dog that makes the color.
Right.
People are going to understand that they got to look at the dog before they look at the color. And Klaus is the type of dog that if he was painted in green, he would still be super impressive, and he would be an amazing looking dog anyways. So, Brother Bakery, thank you for the compliment. So I bought Klaus, and he became a phenomenon here. I sold, I guess, 35 studs in only 8 months that he was here. And not cheap, you know, like it was not cheap. People were like, why are you charging
35? 35 times?
35. No, I didn't breed him that much. I sold 35 studs deposit in less than 8 months. Wow. And you know how it goes. Out of those 35, I think we finished like 26 or 27.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still have people wanting to use him and using him, you know. We're actually going to do a breeding with Klaus in the next month or two. And of course, that was his hype, and everybody was crazy about Klaus. And, you know, he's a fawn. Oh, I don't like, we went collar, but he's a tri-carrier. So he started producing, you know, the black tri dog that you saw, you said, oh, I like that color. That's my production. That's a daughter of him.
Wow.
So I said, you know, let's focus on the dog first, and then we focus on color, because color can be added afterwards, you know. And Klaus was a phenomenon, but I needed a show dog. I love going to dog shows. I love showing, and I love structure. And I'm not going to lie, Klaus is not a perfect dog for a showing. He's not structurally perfect. He's super massive. He's got huge bone. He's got a incredible rear muscle and neck and shoulders muscle, but he's not a perfect dog. He has a few flaws that I would not put him on a show ring again. I did once just to see how he was going to do. I didn't like it, so I didn't, and he doesn't like showing. He's super shy in the ring. Not anymore. He was when he got here. Now he loves to show off. I think he got used to the cameras. But I wouldn't put Klaus in a show because I just don't think he qualifies to be a show dog. He's more of a stud, a producer. He will produce show dogs. And he already did. He has a few champions that are sons and daughters already.
Right.
But I wanted to take a stud to the show ring. So I brought a dog called Berlin, and I was only 10 points to become champion. And I had an offer from Mexico, so I shipped him to Mexico, and he was going to finish the championship in Mexico. I got screwed on that one. The dog disappeared, and the guy never really committed to what he was supposed to. And so Berlin, unfortunately, he didn't become a champion because of that, but he was only 10 points away from the championship. And then I bought Champion Tractor, which is if you want to see him in my highlights, I have him there. He is just perfect. Like he's a clean dog, but he's also extreme. He has perfect feet, perfect rear, perfect angulation, amazing top line. And he's basically like, he's the kind of the dog that he doesn't, the videos don't do him justice. He's not very photogenic, but everybody that comes here, they decide, people are like, I don't know who I like better, because I have Shake, which is this hyper monster, hyper type monster, beautiful lilac tribe, beautiful face, impressive. But then I have Klaus. He looks like a dinosaur. He looks more like a old school type of dog, massive and rustic in temperament.
Right.
And then you have Tractor, with perfect. Tractor is perfect. Like it's thick. He's very thick. Tractor. I don't know if you can go back to my Instagram and see the highlights. I want you to see Champion Tractor. And he became champion, ABKC champion, in only 2 shows.
He did. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So my question is, like, when did
I can hear you, can you?
I can hear you. So my question is, when did
okay, good.
When did Shake come on the scene? Because Shake, I'm loving Shake. I'm gonna show people who Shake is. He's my favorite right now. I'm sorry. I love Shake. Shake, rattle and roll. I love Shake. So let me show people who Shake is.
Yeah.
So we've been on the same page. And I'm sure that Shake is a lot of people's favorites. This is Shake. This is Shake's favorite. This is my favorite. So tell me, when did Shake come about? And what was Shake? Who was Shake's parents?
Okay, so Shake's parents in Brazil, he was one, his name is Bombastic, the male, and the mother is Becca. She's a pied female, beautiful, beautiful front, beautiful chest, widespread, amazing head type. And Bombastic is the son of that dog that I imported for him. King Wonka was his name. And a female called Tribella. Well, she was also a lilac tri female. So Shake came here because I'm very good friends with his breeder. He's the guy that I helped import his grandpa. And he said, Aurea, let's do something with Shake. I have a lot of people wanting to use him in America. And I said, well, let's just, bring him here. We'll do a campaign. We'll do a 6 months campaign or so. And that's how we organized to bring him here, just to stay with me for 6 months. And that was in November last year. So we got him here. And as soon as he got here, we already started his studs at 10K. Like, no discounts, nothing, 10K. And of course, it's a little higher amount. So
People are
houses
paying
at
it?
5. Oh yeah.
You got a waiting list
I got it.
for Shake?
Oh yeah. Especially, no, wait. When he came here, we already
Damn.
had like about
Damn, Gina.
we already had like we already had like 10 people already in line to use him. And we also had a couple of people in Australia. We had people in Germany and Belgium, Italy, Spain. So I started freezing him. And sending to these countries. Australia is actually getting their first shipment in a few weeks, in a couple of weeks. Finally, listen, I started in December, the
I'm
Australia
jealous. You know,
process.
I'm jealous with all this. I'm in the wrong breed.
Yeah, it's satisfying, isn't it? I mean, it is satisfying when you're in this business, and let's not be hypocrites here, because I bred Dogo Argentino for 20 years and I only did it for the passion. I put so much money out of my pocket all the
Right.
time, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I would do it all over again.
Right.
This breed, I would do the same thing. The only difference is that there's more recognition and there's more market for it. So it's
Right.
why not? If you do a good work, I invest a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of research, a lot of money in health testing, a lot of money in importing bloods
Right.
and new blood. So to get the recognition, and we're going to get there, because I'm going to get to the Brazilian bulls, because right now we're talking about Brazilian dogs that are American Bully registered, because ABKC still was registering them as American Bullies. But now we claimed through ABKC to separate the two breeds, which was actually for me not an advantage, but I was doing that more for the passion of these dogs. I wanted the breed to succeed, and even if I lost financially, and because I'm not gonna lose a lot because I still have my dogs here, but even if I had to give in my dogs to see this breed succeed, I would still do it I'm pushing the breed a lot. And I don't even have a Brazilian bull in my yard because all of my dogs are American Bully registered. They all Brazilian bulls, but with American Bully papers. I haven't imported any dogs after February. And in February 2025, after discussing with Dave Wilson and Brazilian entities, we wanted to be recognized as a different breed, because they are a different breed. They have a different genotype. They have a different phenotype. If you look at a Brazilian dog, you know it's a Brazilian dog. They are just very similar, but they have very specific traits that are set in stone that are a different breed. I can show you the standard.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you have, in order to get the proper geno and phenotype of the Brazilian bull, do you have to breed to a Brazilian bull female, or can you just breed to a XL bully, a regular American XL bully, and then one of the 7 or 8 puppies will have that phenotype? But then again, how can you tell if they look like the phenotype you're looking for at that young of an age? Because I see some of Big John's prodigies at very, very young ages, like at 2 and 3 months. And I can't tell if they're going to have that split cranium look, those slanted eyes. How do you tell?
The first thing, once you mix the Brazilian bulls with the American Bullies from here, you're already taking 25% of the genetics away. Okay, you're already spreading the Mastiff genes to their blood. Brazilian bulls don't have much Mastiff, at least not that we know of in the recent generations. Okay, yes, brother Bakary, they do grow very differently. They are very late growing dogs. I love that everybody says, oh, they're some of my clients that use my studs, they say, Aurea, the puppies are too small. I don't know if I'm going to sell them. I said, just wait. And then they end up being bigger than the puppies that are very big, because they don't have any Mastiff. They don't have Molossers in in the recent years, okay? They might have from the Chevys, because we're talking Chevys, we're talking Camelots, we're talking Canchins, we're talking Thompsons. These are all 4 different bloodlines of pit bulls that were imported in Brazil 30 years ago that started the pit monsters. They started with these bloodlines. And we know Chevys had some, you know, people say
Right.
at least, I allegedly, like they use that word a lot now, say that they have mastiffs in them to make them bigger. But
Yeah.
I can guarantee to you, nobody, no breeder in Brazil wants mastiff traits in their dogs. None. They don't like it. They don't want it. And this is why they want that cheek, apple cheek with the huge temples. And they need to have that little, they have like a little, they
Indention.
have the line, the inferior line of the jaw is a little, it's ascending, is different than the American Bully, which is supposed to be blocky. They have a little longer body than the XL Bullies. The XL Bullies are supposed to be short back. The Brazilian Bulls are supposed to be a little bit longer. They all have powerful rears, and they all. Did you mute me? Okay.
Yeah, we have a little the mic is choppy on your end.
I thought.
Your mic is
Oh,
choppy.
is it maybe because it's too loud? Okay, let me see.
Can you hear me?
What about?
Yeah, it sounds like a robot voice.
Is it better now?
No, I don't think
My
so.
internet here is still not the best, guys. Even though I bought Starlink.
I think it's your internet connection probably.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, but it sounds like you're, I want to play a game.
Oh, there you are. It's probably the
You
internet.
there? You're gonna have to get that Verizon files.
Yeah, I'm here. Say that again.
So you're gonna have to get that Verizon files at some point.
No Verizon. No Verizon again. I just got Starlink now.
Yeah, it's
Can you hear
Dave
me
is
okay
saying
now?
I can't. Well, we can hear you, but it sounds like you sound like a robot. Unplug your mic and plug it back in.
That's weird. It was okay before, right?
Yeah, it was. Can you say something? Sorry about that,
Can you hear
guys.
me okay now?
No, not really. Are you underwater? You're in 5 feet. You're in 5 feet pool. That's what it sounds like.
Really?
Yeah. Go back out and come back in. Remove. It's the Starlink internet. That's what they're saying. Doug, can you fix this? If you're using StreamYard, she may want to drop off. Yeah, drop off and come back. Log out and come back in.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Now you got me. Am I not enough? But Big Doug, salute. Yep. So guys, you're gonna come back in. Hopefully we get her back. She's been happy. We tried to get this going for a while. And where she lives in Texas, The internet service that she can pick from is very, very limited. So I didn't think it was going to be this bad. But at least we had her. If she doesn't come back, we'll do this again, but she's going to have to get a router with the upload and download faster, or a modem or something, because we got to get this together. But hey, you know what? I'm going to give her 5 minutes. If not, we're going to conclude this. I'm going to get some more people to come on. We're going to make this happen. We're going to be informative, educational, be entertaining. And that's what we're all about doing right now. I know it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I've been out of pocket. I've been out there on the road making content. Oh, here she comes back. She's persistent. I like that about her. You there?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Wow, you made it.
Hello, is it better?
Yeah, I think whenever you put your glasses on, too much static goes on. Yeah. You there?
There you go.
Yeah. So let's
Yes, I'm here.
So I want to get back to that, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. Let's talk about whelping. You whelp your own litters. I noticed that, right? Did you hear me?
Most of the times, yes.
Yeah. What's the most important part when whelping bullies? Like, what is critical and what is known about them? So, like for the Dobermans, they're not like Malinois, where you can let the mama have the babies, come back 2 weeks, and they still good. The first 2 weeks for Dobies are very critical. So what is it like for the XL Bullies, since they're a larger breed anyway?
Can you repeat the question, because it got cut out a little bit?
Yeah. What is it? What is the most important aspect?
I understood that you said the Dobermans, they cannot be left alone.
Right. So with the XL Bully, what is the most important thing about whelping when you're whelping a breed of that nature? Like, is the mama usually laying?
You got to be there.
Yeah.
I think it's the presence. You got to supervise 100% more than a working breed.
Yeah.
You understand? At least, Dogos, they were like Malinois. You hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it static?
No.
Okay. Yeah, for me, being present, supervision 24/7 for the first 10 days. And sometimes I even have to take it apart from the mother, and because if I have to take a nap or something, I don't leave it with the mother because they're so heavy, and sometimes the mamas are inexperienced. And, like any big breed, if you leave it, I always leave one so she doesn't go crazy, and she will protect that one puppy. And then I go, if I have to take a nap, a 2-hour nap, I take the nest with me. I take a little heating pad and a box, and I can take a nap like that, or I sleep with them for the first few days. But I think they require a lot of attention, much more than a Dogo Argentino.
Let's shift gears, and this is my last question. We're going to take a few questions on here. I went to an XL Bully show out here in LA a few months ago, and some of the XL Bullies were very heavy, and I'm not talking about heavy as regards to muscle mass. I'm talking about, I would say, a little bit obese. I look at your dogs, the XLs and the Brazilians. Their skin is tight. They They don't have any belly fat. Uh, what do you see different in the XL Bully breed that you're not in agreement with?
I think that that's one of the things that I was going to tell you when the voice started going bad. The main trait of the Brazilian dogs is that they are athletic more than that they don't look fat. They look athletic. They have a waistline. They don't have a fat. They don't have a belly. They don't have a beer belly. They have a waistline, very pronounced muscle lines. So you're going to look at the neck and you're gonna see the shoulder and you're gonna see all the lines of the shoulder. You're gonna see the rear. You're gonna see the lines in those thighs, and you're gonna see a waist line, an inferior line that's ascendant in their belly. So that's something that is very atypical for the American Bully XL. And this is one of the main traits that differentiate the two breeds. The muscle lines on the head, they are pretty different too.
All right. Well, listen. I would say can't hear you. The speaker went out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I hear you now. I hear you. You there?
To my back again.
Okay. Let's conclude this, and we got to do this again.
Hello?
We got to do this again. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I think what I'm gonna do even better. Guess what? I'm gonna come out there in person and do a whole episode with Samba Kennels. What do you
That
think
would be
about that?
great.
Wow, now you sound great on it. What did
Can
you
you hear
do?
me now?
Yeah,
I have no idea. This thing keeps turning it off by itself. I don't know why.
sounds great. So what I want to do is,
I gotta go
we're
professional. I
yeah,
gotta get the podcast set up here.
yeah. I think we're looking at maybe in December we come out there, or November we come out
Awesome,
there and do
perfect.
a whole episode.
Do you-
What do you think?
that would be great, Gerald. Would be my pleasure. Anytime if you want to come, I'll be very happy to have you here.
How far are you from Dallas, though? The Dallas Fort Worth area.
90 miles
That's not bad. That's worth it. Hell, I drive to Plano from Dallas.
approximately. 90 miles.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm coming
Yeah.
from LA, so I don't think 90 miles is going to be a big difference. So listen, I want to say thank you for
Okay.
coming on. And people, if you want to follow her,
You can
if you want to follow her on Instagram, you go to Samba Kennels on Instagram. You can also follow her on YouTube. She got some great content there. And are you on TikTok as well?
yes, Samba Kennels.
So everything is Samba Kennels.
I'm not very active. Yeah, everything is Samba Kennels. I'm not very
So
active on TikTok, but I have to start posting more over there too. I have a big
yeah,
following there.
they
Not
love your
big,
dogs.
but
They love your dogs.
definitely.
I want to say thank you
And
for allowing me to have you on this podcast tonight. We got to do this again. We're gonna get the
Well,
technical
thank
issues
you.
ironed out next time. But this was great just to be here, and I want to say thank you again. And I always tell my followers, my listeners, I said be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time.
100%. Till next time, Gerald. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Thank
All
you
right, bye
all.
bye. All right, bye.